The Bada Valley is located in Lor Lindu National Park, in the province of Central Sulawesi, Indonesia. Renowned for its unique collection of hundreds of massive cylindrical stone jars and human-like statues. The mystery lies in the fact that no one has yet been able to accurately explain the origin or purpose of these structures. The Bada Valley was first introduced to the international scientific community in the early 20th century. Thanks to missionary and ethnologist Albert Kreitz. He carefully recorded his findings and realized that the local people frequently brought offerings to present before the statues, to pray for a bountiful harvest or to wish for favorable weather during a drought. But even they themselves do not know who the creator of these stone statues is. They only said that those stone statues had been there for a very long time, even before their ancestors set foot on this land to settle. Currently, according to scientists' estimates, over 400 artifacts from the ancient culture are scattered across the three valleys. Bada, Besha, and Nabu are locations in central Sulawesi province. In this issue, the giant stone pillars are also known as akalamba. Dominate in quantity with over 400 units. The human-shaped statues are called aka, but only about 30 of them remain today. The stone pillars and statues are often clustered together in groups, or scattered in various places. This suggests they may have been part of a ritual or a large-scale organized culture. Despite numerous studies conducted, no clear evidence has been found to date proving that these stone statues and pillars are connected to a civilization that once existed in the area. Scientists have yet to determine their exact age. However, many theories suggest they have existed for at least 5,000 years. Aka statues commonly share the trait of having very large carved heads. The body is upright and has no legs. On the statue's body, the details of the genitalia are often depicted very distinctly. The statue's hands are always crafted in a pose that emphasizes this area. Among them, the largest statue is named Pelindol, KGI Tri, although the exact weight of the statue cannot yet be determined. But according to estimates, this statue weighs approximately 10 tons. Many people notice an eerily striking resemblance among the stone statues in Indonesia and the giant stone statues in other parts of the world. For example, the stone statues in San Agustin, Colombia. It also has a big head, a small body, and no legs, along with a similar hand posture. And if compared to the Moai statues on Easter Island, the similarity is even more striking. Both the hand gestures and the shapes of the statues bear astonishing similarities. Some previous documents indicate, when exploring Easter Island and its famous Moai statues, scientists have discovered that this hand posture is also depicted on the stone pillars at Göbekli Tepe. One of the oldest ancient sites in the world is located in Turkey. At Kaharanchep, another important site in Turkey, a large-sized statue depicting the image of a man has been discovered. Here are the translations based on the given context. It should be noted that both Göbekli Tepe and Kaharanchep date back approximately 12,000 years. It means it appeared nearly 7,000 years earlier than Stonehenge. Another example is the Orfemen statue in Turkey, considered the oldest life-sized human statue in the world, dated to approximately 5,000 to 9,000 years BC. This statue is also carved in the exact same pose and hand placement. Many people can't help but wonder about this. How is it that cultures thousands of miles apart? How could they possibly share the same symbol like that? Could there have once been an ancient global civilization? These locations can be connected to each other. Perhaps even stranger than the statues are the massive stone tombs scattered throughout the Bada Valley. These legs are scattered throughout Loringdon National Park, a 2,200 square kilometers conservation area. Bada Valley is located in the southern part of the park. This is the largest concentration of stone tombs, locally known as Kalamba, despite holding significant historical and archaeological importance. However, to this day, the origin and purpose of these stone pillars remain a mystery. Neither scientists nor local residents have been able to explain this. The stone statues in Bada Valley share surprisingly similar features with each other and other ancient architectural structures around the world. The key question to answer is whether any connection exists between these cultures, or perhaps they are merely random symbols that coincidentally match. The Bada Valley is renowned for its massive Kalamba stone tombs and striking AK statues. continues to captivate the interest of researchers and history enthusiasts worldwide. And though I may not yet fully grasp the story hidden behind these things, one thing is certain: these artifacts still hold an important secret about the distant past of humanity. The exact age of the buried stones in the Bada Valley remains a major unanswered question. The researchers believe they likely appeared around 1,000 to 5,000 years ago. But there is still no concrete evidence to confirm that. It's fascinating how the locals here completely deny having any historical connection with them. Those graves became even more mysterious because of it. Notably, the type of stone used to make the jars was not naturally available in the Bada Valley. This proves that these rocks were transported from a distant land. So how did the ancients transport those massive stone blocks? How to navigate treacherous terrain without modern tools? Colomba. This name sounds appealing, yet it's full of paradox. Could there possibly be a king who needs hundreds of bathtubs scattered all over the place? Amidst the dense, remote forests, far removed from any human settlement. Moreover, these stone pits were once covered with heavy stone slabs. Clearly shows that they are not at all plump. One notable thing is that these stone lids are extremely large in size and weight. Moving them was extremely difficult. This further strengthens the hypothesis that they cannot be used as bathtubs. Scientists believe they could be used as catacombs. But this perspective is still not truly convincing. Some communal graves, such as those in Padang Tembora, not deep enough to hold a human body. This makes the theory about the catacombs more absurd than ever. Additionally, some bells are divided inside by a stone ridge. With a height difference of no more than 5 centimeters, their intended purpose becomes even more puzzling. So what were these cups actually made for? Where were these stone mortars sourced from? And how did the ancients transport them? Has this giant been to the dense, long valleys of central Sulawesi? Who created this monumental structure and what was their purpose? Some jar lids are also carved with animal motifs. The concerning thing is that these creatures bear no resemblance to any known animal species living in the tropical forests of Sulawesi. Though less common, some bronze drums were also carved with human figures or faces. One hypothesis suggests that ancient people used a special type of technology to make stone malleable. Help them shape and carve stone as easily as we mold clay. Just imagine trying to make a large-sized terracotta jar. The potter will place it together on the wheel, rotating it while using a tool to create horizontal lines while the clay is still pliable. The horizontal lines on the stone jars in Bada suggest that their production process was likely similar. But is this really possible? Did ancient people possess any technology that allowed them to soften stone? Or even how to rotate such enormous millstones without modern machinery? One hypothesis suggests that these jars may have been used in some mineral separation process. The reality shows that the area around Bada Valley has an exceptionally abundant reserve of gold minerals. And if you look closely, you'll see burn marks appearing on the cup. It looks as though molten metal or even gold once flowed through here. Could this be the creation of an advanced civilization far beyond the understanding of current mainstream science? And if that were true, wouldn't we have found similar bells in many other places around the world? What a coincidence, in Laos there are the Bada valleys stretching about 3,000 kilometers. This area features a communal field with around 3,000 large stone jars scattered across the landscape. The Plain of Jars in Laos is one of the most mysterious archaeological sites in Southeast Asia. These giant stone jars, like those in the Bada Valley, remain a challenging mystery for the scientific community. But no matter how complex their mysteries may be, one thing is certain: they will forever stand as witnesses to an ancient civilization. Beyond the current scope of human understanding, the stone jars on the Plain of Jars in Laos come in an incredibly diverse range of sizes, with many standing up to 3 meters tall and weighing several tons. They are scattered across more than 90 different locations, crafted from various types of stone such as sandstone, granite, and limestone. Most jars typically have a cylindrical shape, with a flat or slightly convex base, and the rim often features a raised grip. Some bowls feature intricate decorative patterns, but most are plain and simple. Some places even have lids, suggesting that these jars were likely once covered, similar to the stone jars in Indonesia. It's truly unfortunate that most of the stone tombs in the common field were severely devastated by the war. During the 1964 to 1969 period of the Laotian War, this area endured relentless airstrikes from the U.S. Air Force aimed at severing the supply routes of the North Vietnamese Army and local armed forces. This area endured a series of devastating bombing raids that left many buildings completely flattened. During the war, approximately 262 million cluster bombs were dropped. To this day, nearly 80 million unexploded ones remain scattered everywhere, posing a deadly threat to anyone who accidentally strays beyond the marked safe zones. The bomb and mine clearance work is underway, but the progress remains very slow. Up to now, she has only safely cleared 7 common rock storage sites, while the actual number still cannot be fully accounted for. Only about less than 10% of the landmines and unexploded ordnance have been thoroughly cleared. Although mine clearance efforts are actively underway, dozens of Lao civilians still lose their lives each year due to remaining explosives. Archaeologists previously estimated that these jars date back approximately 2,000 years, belonging to the Iron Age. However, a new study published in 2021 revealed that they could date back as far as 3,000 years, significantly older than previous estimates. To this day, it remains unclear who built these jars or which civilization they belong to. The Lao people have passed down an ancient legend that explains the origin of these stone jars. They believed that this land was once inhabited by a race of giants, ruled by King Kun Chen. This mighty literary team endured a long and fierce battle against a cruel enemy, ultimately securing victory. To celebrate their glorious victory, they needed to prepare plenty of Lao rice wine, called Lao Lao, to raise their glasses and toast. King Kun Chen ordered the casting of giant jars to ferment and store wine. This drum is not just for holding things, but also like giant cups, for giants to raise in celebration of victory. The legend says that the bells were mined from a quarry about 10 kilometers away. But how could an ancient civilization transport those massive stone blocks through such treacherous, rugged, and steep jungle terrain? This remains an unsolved mystery. Recently, scientists have discovered that the Plain of Jars is not the only site in Laos where these giant stone jars are found. They discovered 15 additional sites deep within remote mountainous areas, containing over 100 similar large stone jars. The newly discovered sites are located in the wilderness, an area inhabited by many tigers, making it highly dangerous for humans. The newly discovered jars feature diverse designs and materials, slightly different from those found in the jar field. Some coins feature unique patterns and borders, completely distinct from ordinary ones. The researchers were surprised to find no traces of ancient settlements near these areas. This proves that the civilization that created these bells likely existed across a much larger territory than our previous assumptions. The mystery deepened in 2020 when a survey team in India's Aksham forest discovered large stone bells with a similar shape. At this point, the communal fields in Laos stretch about 800 kilometers, while the Bada valleys in Indonesia extend over 4,000 kilometers. Researchers have discovered a total of approximately 800 stone jars scattered across an area spanning 115 square miles. The bells in Aksham come in diverse shapes and sizes. Some are tall and slender, while others are partially or entirely submerged beneath the ground. Archaeologist Nicholas Copeland, a member of the research team, said, "We still don't know who created these giant jars or where they lived. Everything remains a mystery. We've only uncovered a very small part, and each time we venture deeper into the forest, we discover new locations." These jars are made of sandstone, which can be mined from nearby quarries or riverbeds. This is an entirely new discovery, and their exact age has yet to be determined. However, researchers have discovered a connection between the giant stone structures in Indonesia, Laos, and India. This is considered a remarkable archaeological phenomenon, reflecting the cultural similarities between these regions. In short, the true purpose of these giant stone jars remains an unsolved mystery. Whether they are the product of a highly advanced ancient civilization, or of an undiscovered, enigmatic culture, they remain one of the most mysterious and captivating archaeological sites recently discovered.